Good morning. It always takes me by surprise when you say good morning back to me. I love it, thank you. Welcome to First Unitarian Congregation of Toronto in person and online, where our mission is to nurture connection, share life's joys and sorrows, and act for love and justice. We welcome you whether you're joining us from around the corner or around the world, and whether you're a longtime member of this community or visiting us for the first time. We often say you belong here because you are here. And there's truth to that. However, belonging is more than just being here. Belonging means feeling welcomed, feeling known, included, supported, and connected. And I hope you all do feel that, because I know that that is our goal as a community. In fact, the third of our 8 Unitarian principles states that we affirm and promote acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth. So welcome here in this place that we make sacred by coming together. Early January is the anniversary period for Idle No More, a grassroots movement for Indigenous rights and respect for the many treaties signed with the Crown. And in that context, we acknowledge that our congregation is located on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe-Mississauga, the Haudenosaunee, the Ojibwa-Chippewa, and the Wendat peoples. May we renew our commitment to help heal the wounds of our past and our present in the essential work of ongoing reconciliation. My name is Art Brewer. My pronouns are he, him. I've been a member of this community for over 30 years, and it's my honor to be your worship leader for today's service. I'm joined today by Interim Lead Minister Reverend Linda Thompson, pianist Gregory O, Director of Congregational Music Dallas Bergen, Director of Lifespan Religious Education Angela Klassen, and AV Engineer Matt Rideout. I have just one announcement before we light our chalice. This year's Unitarian Universalist Midwinter Retreat will be held the weekend of February 6th to 8th at Cedar Glen Outdoor Center in Bolton. This is a weekend of thought-provoking activities as well as laughter and music. The theme this year is We Are All Interconnected, and ain't it the truth? The keynote speaker is Unitarian Minister Reverend Wayne Walder. So if you look at our e-newsletter, First Light, you can find more information and you can register as well there. And registration closes, by the way, a week from tomorrow on January 19th. For those online, there is a form on our website which you can use to stay in touch. Please say hello, and also let us know if you'd like to receive our e-newsletter, First Light. Thank you all for being part of the life of this congregation. And now as we begin our service, for those online, I invite you to light a candle or chalice if you have one close by, and join with us in saying our chalice lighting words. As we light our chalice, may its flame kindle within us the warmth of compassion, the glow of love, the fire of commitment, and the light of truth. Please take a moment now to greet your neighbors in a way that feels comfortable to you and to them, being mindful that this is the peak of flu season, and not everyone welcomes physical contact these days. Good morning. I was going to suggest an elbow or fist bumps or something. Just be aware.
It's true, it is the time of year, and I am just getting older.
Oh, really?
I've had it when I was a lot. I don't want it again.
I don't blame you.
No?
Yeah. I invite you now to rise as you're able and to join in singing together hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
That was rousing. The words I'd like to share now are by Tanya E. Marquet. It is a wonder and mystery that our paths have crossed, that in the immensity of time, in the vastness of space, we coincide here. I am in awe at the ways in which our lives intersect and intertwine, at the beauty we create when we gather. May our coming together make us more compassionate, more just, more caring, and more loving. May our hearts and minds be open to this offering. I am so glad you are here. Let us worship. Let us marvel at the miracle of being here right now and the mystery that has brought us together. And now, as we do each week, in expressing the highest aspirations of this congregation, we repeat together our covenant. Love is our doctrine, the quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve life to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all.
Beloveds, our time for all ages today is Last Stop on Market Street by Matt De La Peña, illustrations by Christian Robinson. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, freckling CJ's shirt and dripping down his nose. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time. He never saw a straw. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" "Boy, what do you need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire and old Mr. Dennis who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was strumming a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a good afternoon. She made sure CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped, lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watching a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. "How come that man can't see?" "Boy, what do you know about seeing?" Nana told him. "Some people watch the world with their ears." "That's a fact. Their noses, too," the man said, sniffling at the air. "That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am." Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. "Sure wish I had one of those," he said. Nana set down her knitting. "What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song?" CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. "To feel the magic of music," the blind man whispered, "I like to close my eyes." Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog, and some of you this morning during the music. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the air, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. "Last stop on Market Street," Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows, and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. "How come it's always so dirty over here?" She smiled and pointed to the sky. "Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful." CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beauty where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, "I'm glad we came." He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, "Me too, CJ. Now, come on." And there they are at the bus stop. Nana's got her knitting, and CJ's got his book. And that was Last Stop on Market Street. Our theme is Awakening Wonder this month, and so that's what children will be talking about, the things that make us say, wow. So anyone who is young and would like to come for our activity, Colin and I will be hosting that. And I think it's the last Sunday to make a window star. Somebody told me they wanted to, and there wasn't room at the table, so come on over after service if you haven't yet had a chance to make a star.
At this time in our service, we'll take a few minutes to engage in meditation or prayer, starting with words from the late Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh in his book, The Miracle of Mindfulness. This reading will be followed by a few moments of silence, then musical meditation, followed by the lighting of candles of concern or joy, and the sharing of sorrows and joys. Thich Nhat Hanh wrote, "People usually consider walking on water or in thin air a miracle, but I think the real miracle is not to walk either on water or in thin air, but to walk on earth. Every day we are engaged in a miracle which we don't even recognize. A blue sky, white clouds, green leaves, the black, curious eyes of a child, our own 2 eyes. All is a miracle."
At this time, we consider the bonds between us, the sacred bonds that bind one life to another. We know that what touches one life touches many. And in these moments, we seek to widen our ministry by sharing joys and sorrows and milestones. And beloved ones, I know that the news of the turmoil of the world seems at times to be too much to know, too much to feel, too much to process. And it's in that spirit that I invite you to join with me now in a spirit of prayer or meditation with these words by David Breeden. We cry out in grief at the suffering we see, people, all living things, the planet, preventable suffering, yet it continues on and on. When we feel overwhelmed, we gather to find a path, to find new ways forward. When we feel overwhelmed, we know that to our right and to our left are the faces of caring, faces of companionship. Joining together here, we find our refuge, we find our strength, we find our wisdom, we find our way forward. And sorrows that have been shared, Jane Larimer has let us know that Carl Barr was in hospital receiving treatment for the flu this week. I believe that he is home. And we hold in our hearts all those who carry heavy loads today, those grieving or facing illnesses. May they find comfort. I invite you to bring to mind those you are holding in your heart today. If you are online, feel free to type your sorrow into the chat. And those in person are invited to speak aloud in a word or two, something of the sorrow you are holding today. And life offers great delights, great gifts. And may they remind us to cultivate gratitude. Please bring to mind all that you are grateful for today. For those online, please feel free to share your joys in the chat. And if you are here, please feel free to briefly speak your joy out loud. May all that has been shared here strengthen and renew the bonds of this beloved community. In joy and sorrow, in struggle and success, may we together embrace life's blessings and endure its challenges in the sacred hope that we might grow stronger through both.
I'd like to call on Tanya Cothran, our co-chair, for a few words that she'd like to share with us.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tanya Cothran, and Linda gave a perfect lead-in to today. When the news of the world overwhelms me, I go to where I have connection, where I see people are doing good work. And today we have the opportunity to hear some words from Reverend Yuyu, Minister Rev. Mwibutsa Wineza Nidijijimana, who is from Burundi and lives in Ottawa now, and he is the director of Flaming Chalice, which we have raised funds for the past few years. We have a video from him in a few minutes. It's a 6-minute video where he will talk about the impact of his work in Burundi and Rwanda, working with people who are really doing the community effort to make sure that no one in their community is left behind. I've worked with Mwibutsa for, 7 or 8 years now, and I'm so inspired and impressed by his commitment to community, to listening to people, to doing whatever he can. And so today, at the end of the service, today's special collection is for Flaming Chalice, and we are aiming to raise $5,000 to go to their efforts, which you'll hear more about shortly. And I will be traveling to Burundi with Mwibutsa for my work in summer in August. So hopefully after I get back, I'll be able to share some words, maybe after a service someday, and share what I've seen there. But anyway, Matt, we're ready for the video.
Because of you, a girl who should never have gone to school is now ranking first in her class. Her name is Anike. She's in grade 9. She's the third of 8 children and the first in her family to ever go to school. My name is Reverend Mwibutsa Ndagijimana, and I am the Executive Director of Flaming Chalice International. I'll begin with the story of Anike because it carries the meaning of why I'm talking to you today. Friends at Toronto First Unitarian, on this first Sunday of the year, I want to begin by expressing my deepest gratitude. Thank you for lives that you have allowed us to impact. Over the past year, your support made possible the Brilliant Minds Project. Through this initiative, 214 students from families of humble means received all they needed to go to school. School supplies, uniform fees, and just as importantly, encouragement that they matter and that their future is worth investing in. Alongside education, we supported selected families with income-generating initiatives, helping parents build dignity through work so that education of their children can be sustained. And beyond Burundi, your generosity has reached refugees in East Africa, providing support for food, shelter, and livelihoods initiatives, ensuring that their hardship is never the end of their story. Let me return to Anike for a moment. Anike comes from a large family of 8 children. In a context where girls are often the first to be left behind, she became the first of her family to go forward. She regularly ranks first or second in her class. She is disciplined, determined, and quietly ambitious. She wants to break barriers, not only for herself, but for those who will come after her. And we at Flaming Chalice International are determined to journey with her, not just to help her start, but also to help her finish, making sure her potential is not left unsupported. The year 2026 holds a special meaning for me personally. It coincides with my golden jubilee, 50 years of life. As I reflected on what such a milestone should represent, I did not want to celebrate without purpose. I wanted commitment. I wanted to celebrate through shared joy. Because I believe that a meaningful life is the one geared towards others. Out of that reflection was born the Kirumara Fund. Kirumara means hero. The fund is dedicated to supporting people like Anik, ordinary people with extraordinary determination and potential, so that they can be, yes, supported to reach their potential, but it's also about partnership, because heroes do not stand alone. The Kirumara Fund partners heroes like Anik with heroes like you, people of Toronto First Unitarian. People may, yes, live far away, but you choose again and again to act as if our shared humanity matters, because you and I believe it does. The goal of this fund is $50,000, $1,000 for each year lived and served, not as a monument to a person, but as an investment in people whose lives are still unfolding. If my memory serves well, Toronto First Unitarian has now supported our work 5 times, and today marks number 5. To celebrate 5 years of generosity and lives changed, I invite you to help us again raise $5,000 to work towards the work in Burundi and in East Africa, reinforcing the idea that compassion does not grow tired, and that distance does not weaken responsibility and partnership. On behalf of all those whose lives are transformed by your generosity, students who go to school, families who have regained dignity, refugees who have regained stability, now and in the future, I thank you. Amen, and blessed be.
Thank you. I invite you now to read responsively with me. The words will be on the screen. These are words of Walt Whitman adapted from Leaves of Grass. If you would read the words in italics. Why, who makes much of a miracle? As to me, I know of nothing else but miracles. Whether I walk the streets of Manhattan or dart my sight over the roofs of houses toward the sky, or wade with naked feet along the beach just in the edge of the water, or stand under trees in the woods, or talk by day with anyone I love, or sleep in the bed at night with anyone I love, or sit at the table at dinner with the rest, or look at strangers riding opposite me in the car, or watch honeybees busy around the hive of a summer forenoon, or animals feeding in the fields, or birds, or the wonderfulness of insects in the air, or the wonderfulness of the sundown, or of stars shining so quiet and bright, or the exquisite, delicate, thin curve of the new moon in spring. These, with the rest, one and all, are to me miracles. Every cubic inch of space is a miracle. Sorry, I missed a line. And the surface of the earth is spread with the same. And together, everyone, as to me, I know of nothing else but miracles. And I invite you to join with me now by rising in body and spirit, or spirit, and as we sing together 134, Our World is One World.
way we spend, the way we share, who are the rich or poor, who stand or fall. Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all, where fear and greed make many holds, but where our hearts can hear a different call.
When I was young, I used to wait for miracles. I had read stories about Bernadette and Joan of Arc and thought maybe I could hear a vision, hear a voice or see a vision. I remember hoping that somehow my faith would be proven by a miraculous event. In Sunday school, I read about water being turned into wine and walking on water, both of which seemed interesting to me. I also heard about curing lepers and raising the dead. Both of those seemed quite urgent. But in time, my earnest and fervent faith faded, and I worried less and less about miracles and more about ethics, education, and my plans for Friday night. The Latin root of the word miracle, mirare, means to wonder at. In Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist traditions, the concept of miracles exists. Sometimes in the stories from those traditions, miracles refer to divine intervention in natural laws, such as when Lazarus was raised from the dead. At other times, miracles are seen as the statistical, improbable timing of events. One Jewish interpretation of the fall of the Wall of Jericho focuses on the miraculous timing of an earthquake, which allowed the Israelites to conquer the city. In the Buddhist tradition, the ability to suspend judgment and assumptions is central to the miracle of enlightenment. Many Muslims believe that science supports the teachings of Allah and that he miraculously knew things that we are just now beginning to understand. And there is today, I think, a renewed interest in ancient practices which involve magic, spells, and mystery, Wicca, an earth-centered tradition, Kabbalah, a form of mystic Judaism, A Course in Miracles, which is a popular Christian program, all support the idea that there are many things beyond our knowing. I think it's fair to say that for much of human history and for a significant percentage of people, the possibility of miracles has loomed large. For a long time after my longing for a vision years, I thought I was done with miracles. But now I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure because my observation is that many people still long for them. Some of us are more literal about this than others, and many don't use traditionally religious language to describe our hope for the miraculous. And some are more literal in their language and speak more openly about their longing. I believe that most of us, at some level, long to be touched by the divine. Follow your bliss. Things happen for a reason. Someone was looking out for you, and it was meant to be, are common phrases that indicate the speaker believes that forces larger, or at least more powerful than human reason, is at play. Labyrinth walking, chanting, and meditation and prayer are all practices that transcend the rational and which admit the possibility of wonder and release. Many people who tell you they don't literally believe in miracles still seem to acknowledge that we can't know and understand everything that happens to us. We seem to know that something beyond language and beyond the reach of our reason, something ineffable, is at play in our lives. Are you still waiting for a miracle? I've come to realize that I still long for miracles, but I'm not waiting for them anymore. I've learned it's wise to be more open in my interpretation of miracles. Perhaps you've heard the joke about the man who, during a flood, passed by help that was offered by 2 different neighbors with boats, one rescue squad with a helicopter, because he believed that God, in appreciation of his faith, would send a miracle. And when he, after several hours, exhausted, realized he was about to drown, cried out in despair that he felt forsaken, that God had failed to send the miracle his faith deserved. And at that time, a voice came from on high and said, "I sent 2 boats and a helicopter. What did you expect?" In our world, so much seems so wrong, so much of the time. Newscasters and neighbors seem to delight in telling us bad news. Advertisers, well, they make good livings telling us that we need to be afraid of our dingy laundry and our souls. Many of us are too frightened or too skeptical or too sure to imagine that we might encounter the miraculous. And I come back to the Walt Whitman we read together earlier. As to me, I know of nothing else but miracles. Whether I walk the streets of Manhattan or dart my sight over the roofs of houses toward the sky, or wade with naked feet along the beach just in the edge of the water. Whitman reminds me that there's much to wonder at here and now, and that miracles do abound. So what would it mean if we embraced this way of thinking about miracles? What would change for you? Or if you already embrace this attitude of wonder, how does it affect your life? I find myself wondering what it would look like if more of us could wonder at a little more. If we were in our everyday lives more aware of the miracles around us, would we be better stewards of the earth? Would more wonder motivate us to be better parents, friends, partners? Would we be kinder and gentler with those we meet? Would we choose to live more deliberately? I suspect we would, and I suspect we wouldn't. We would when we could remember to see the miracles in front of us, and we wouldn't when the stuff of life got in the way of the view. It's really easy to talk about an attitude of gratitude when life is going well. It's not so easy when big, sad, and scary stuff comes our way. Diagnosis, downsize, depression, despair, death. They find our way into all of our lives. No one here can escape all of the troubles. And platitudes about being thankful for what you have are less welcome at those times than ants are at a picnic. Who among us hasn't looked with fury or sadness or amusement at the cheerful person who reminds us that we'll be stronger for the trial, or that we just need to remember all our blessings? There are times when all of us feel lost and lonely. And you know what? It's okay to feel lost and lonely. I think it would be unhealthy to feel cheerful and vibrant at those times. It wouldn't exactly make us the poster child for mental health. Feeling lost and lonely tends to make us a bit oblivious to the miracles that Whitman catalogs, and at times it makes us deny their very existence. Feeling lost and lonely tells us that not all is right with the world, and it can lead us to make changes and adjustments that help us get back on track. Pain serves a purpose. Pain tells us we're not safe, that we are ill. Pain is part of our personal monitoring systems. But sadly, though, sometimes it's hard to find the way through pain. Sometimes we get stuck. And acute pain sometimes causes paralysis. Compassionate and competent friends and professionals can help us take baby steps towards health when that happens. With them, we can get the support we need for improved health. And moving towards health can be hard work. It can be painful work. It's always good work. It's work that each individual must start No one can do it for us. We cannot sit back and wait for that miracle. Rather, we must, even when we doubt its possibility, look for it. Go in search of it, however small or ordinary it might seem. Each of us needs to, even when it's difficult, find the strength and the motivation to be aware of the miracles that abound. And when we do, that in itself is a miracle. Now, at the risk of getting all self-helpish on you, I'd like to offer an alternative to waiting for miracles. I'm sure you've heard this before. Fake it until you make it. I'm wary of a lot of the work that comes from the self-help department because I'm concerned at times that we might further erode the confidence and ability of those who struggle. Visualize your way to health is fine, but does it mean the person who doesn't end up in remission is somehow inadequate? Does the person who still smokes have a weaker character? None of us can know for sure if the other person might have beat the odds or the habit, and I start this conversation with that in mind. We can't know. The intent is not to disparage those who don't make it. None of us know all the factors at play. But we do know that there is power in the human mind that baffles and amazes. We don't need to wait for miracles. We can look for them, expect them, and recognize them where they are, everywhere. A colleague of mine, a former classmate, Reverend Ashley Horan, lives just down the street in Minneapolis from where Renee Good was shot and died this week. Ashley reports, and she's an on-the-ground social justice minister at any rate, she reports that people of all faiths, all backgrounds, are coming forward to escort children to and from school, are bringing food for those who are volunteering, and are sending money to support those who need it because their lives have been disrupted. She reports it is breathtakingly beautiful what's happening. Perhaps a miracle is worth noting in the midst of the fear and the chaos that's found wherever it happens, whether it's in Iran, our northern indigenous communities, the Sudan, or Minneapolis. Neurologists are beginning to learn more about the interplay between actions and our brains. Those who chant, meditate, or think positive thoughts do, in measurable ways, affect their brains. We know that stress has negative effects on our immune system, our blood pressure, our memory, and our heart. And so for all of us, finding practices and attitudes that reduce the negative effects of stress have been proven to promote greater health. For some people, religious faith and practices can play that role. We know that our bodies and our minds in an elegant interdependence affect one another. And so I suggest that an attitude of wonder can be good for your health. Fake it until you make it is not always possible, but it's always a possibility. Unless you believe you can kick the habit, you're unlikely to do so. Unless you believe that conquering cancer cells that the imaging of conquering cancer cells might be possible, you're unlikely to try. Unless you believe that you can feel joy again or trust love again, you are not going to behave in a way that makes it possible. Unless you believe that miracles abound, you are unlikely to find evidence of them in your life. Unless you open your eyes and hearts and mind to the possibility of the miraculous, you likely won't see it. The idea that we make choices that create our reality is not new. We prepare not through elaborate and complicated regimes, but by finding a simple path, following it, and acknowledging our limitations. In Psalms, we are reminded that we have a choice of reaction to the wonder we find in our daily life. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And Art read earlier from Thich Nhat Hanh, every day we are engaged in a miracle that we don't even recognize. A blue sky, white clouds, green leaves, and the black, curious eyes of a child, and our own 2 eyes. All is a miracle. So we can raise the bar and only consider the very extraordinary to be miraculous, or we can lift our eyes and see miracles all around us. We get to choose. In the end, it's an act of faith to believe in and to expect miracles. Some days we can feel like Whitman and say, as for me, I know of nothing else but miracles. And other days we may feel forsaken and struggle to find a sense of wonder and joy. But in the struggle, it is possible to find our way to an appreciation of all the wonders around us, to recognize that miracles do abound, to find reason to wonder every day is a choice that many of us can make. And in making that choice, we can consider our response to the world of wonder that surrounds us. Hearts and minds full of wonder and appreciation can call us to be more attentive and careful with the miracle of creation and to show more compassion to our fellow travelers. Even while we plan for our future, working towards an education or trying to save a bit of money, we know there are no guarantees. Today is the day we have. Waiting for a miracle instead of seeing the one right in front of you might mean you miss it altogether. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. And let's all take a few breaths together.
It's not that unusual when everything is beautiful. It's just another ordinary miracle today. The sky knows when it's time to snow. Don't need to teach a seed to grow. It's just another ordinary miracle today. Life is like a gift, they say, wrapped up for you every day. Open up and find a way to give some of your own. Isn't it remarkable? Like every time a raindrop falls, it's just another ordinary miracle today. Birds in winter have their fling, but always make it home by spring. It's just another ordinary miracle today. When you wake up every day, please don't throw your dreams away. Hold them close to your heart, 'cause we are all a part of the ordinary miracle. Ordinary miracle. Do you wanna see a miracle? Ooh, hey. Isn't it exceptional that things just work out after all? It's just another ordinary miracle today.
Thank you so much, Gabby and Gregory. That was beautiful. Our congregation is an open-minded and welcoming spiritual community guided by shared values. Our mission is to nurture connection, share life's joys and sorrows, and act for love and justice. We practice our values and realize our mission through our weekly services, our programs, support groups, music, outreach, and our work in the wider world, all of which require attention, intention, well, both actually, attention and intention, time, and of course, money. Please donate generously so your community can continue to give to you and give to others in the spirit of our shared vision. No donation is too small. No donation is too large. At the back of the sanctuary is a panel you can tap to make a donation. I understand that panel actually today, the donations made with that panel will go directly to the Flaming Chalice goal to raise $5,000. And there is also a giving basket for cash donations. For those online, you can find a link in the chat to the page where you can make a donation. Thank you so much for your generosity. And now I think Dallas has a couple of words he would like to share with us.
Thank you, Art. Just like to take a quick moment to acknowledge a departing member. Darlene Reed is second from the left in the back row behind me, and Darlene's been invaluable to this community for a number of years, first coming here from Vancouver in 2014, and then finding First Unitarian on St. Clair, cycling by the building. Darlene soon joined the choir and later the congregation as a member. And along with partner Murray has battled 2 forms of cancer in recent years and through autoimmune challenges. And that put some plans to head home to the West Coast on hold. But we're so pleased that Murray is now in remission, and Darlene and Murray are able to take that next step into semi-retirement, eventual retirement, and more importantly, being closer to family and grandchildren. Darlene, I know you don't love goodbyes, so this is not a forever goodbye, but we want you to know how much we love you and Murray, and we'll miss you as you go. As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go. And I now invite you to join in singing our closing hymn, 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul.
Thank you, everybody, for being here with us today. We hope you found connection and meaning, and we look forward to seeing you next week in person and online. Matt, how many connections did we have online today?
50-ish.
50-ish.
60.
So 50 connections, some with more than one person. This community is much bigger than that which we see. And for those of you joining us online today, thank you. You'll be invited into a small group discussion. You can accept the prompt, and there's a question for you. How does the concept of miracle work for you? And if it does, what do you consider miraculous? Of course, you can all talk about it too. And as we extinguish our common flame, let us hear these words by Craig Rowland. As we extinguish this flame, may we carry its smoke with us into the streets, into the places where holiness is hard to see, but always waiting to be noticed. Let us go with eyes open for wonder in the worn out, with reverence for each passerby, and with the knowing that the sacred does not hide from the world, it lives in it. Go now, not to escape the brokenness, but to journey beside it, and sometimes to bless it.